Good morning, everyone. Boy, you come at an interesting time for your business now. Um, so I would just follow up on what the gentleman said here about education. What I tell any group that comes here to think about it when they approach legislators is be an educator of your own experience. There's 435 members of Congress. We all have different backgrounds. Actually, my background is environmental law. If you want to talk to me about the compliance of subtitle D municipal solid waste landfill liner, we can talk peer to peer, right? But I don't know how to run a restaurant. I don't know how to finance an energy deal. I'm learning a lot about energy, and I think I need your help. One of the things I think that people are starting to understand, but they don't understand your role in yet, is the quantity of demand for electricity we're about to see in the country. We're facing a future of either higher energy prices or astronomically higher energy prices, okay? And I think every politician is worried about what their voters say about energy prices. I'm really critical of what the Republicans did in this in their big bill, because I think, depending on how fast the race is to get in past by the deadlines, we could lose 300 gigawatts of generation capacity at a time when we just need more. And I do think that there is a perception among some ideologically motivated people that only natural gas and hydro and these sort of so-called dispatchable power systems are what we need. But that's not the case. We really need a lot of power. And I think what we would do when we talk about competing with China is look at what China's doing. And I just looked yesterday, so Zion will tell me if I get it wrong, but I think China right now is 35% coal, 28% solar, 18% wind, 13% geo, and 3% gas, right? And what are they investing in? Well, they are building, they've got 96 gigawatts of coal in development. But in last year, they installed 277 gigawatts of solar and 80 gigawatts of wind. And they have 722 gigawatts of solar in development. That's where the ball's going. And we really need you to help educate people. This is not ideological. This is about a quantity of electricity we need to power our homes, to win the AI race, and to keep prices within reach. So you all understand that. I think everybody needs to hear that. Of course, the other thing I think you're all worried about, and I'm worried about too, is if we don't do this, the innovation will come in some other country and not here. And what I've always said to Republicans who don't seem to care about climate change, they'll say, oh, the United States is only responsible for 10 to 12% of emissions. Why should we worry about it? And there's two reasons. One is we need to show that we can have a first world lifestyle without depending entirely on coal. We are able to use renewables to live the lifestyle we enjoy in the United States, a really high-end lifestyle. But second is because we want the innovation to happen here. We want the businesses to prosper here. We want the inventions to happen here. We want the wealth to grow here. And we are giving that up. We are giving that up. And I think it's a real mistake. Republicans, I understand the theory of, government intervention in the economy, and maybe there's a time when subsidies should expire, but not in the middle of these things that are being financed under current law. But I also understand that we're competing against countries that aren't drawing those lines so heavily. We need to participate and make sure that that our energy system is robust. And then, don't even get me started on transmission. This is not your thing today, but that's another thing we're working on here. So anyway, so I want to just thank you for being here. I want to encourage you to educate people about this. Utilities understand it, business understands it, but a lot of legislators need to hear from you about what the truth is. And we know China gets it as well, too. So again, thanks so much for coming. Stay cool. And I'm going to San Diego. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks. Well, safe travels. Have a good August recess. And we'll have to find some ways to pick your brain on transmission and permitting sometime when everyone gets back after Labor Day, maybe, because I know you're in the thick of things is what I meant to say on those issues.
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
We're trying to do a big permitting reform effort here. I should have mentioned that too. I know some of you do development. Stuff takes too long. I'm proud to be a Democrat who voted for a $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan and the IRA, which is the biggest down payment on climate action in the history of the world. And as proud as I am of that, I'm just as embarrassed about how little of it got done while we were in office. We had a hearing in Energy and Commerce on the broadband part of it. $43 billion set aside to do rural broadband, and we had not completed one line by the time the Republicans held their hearing. And the witness got up very cheerfully, and she said, well, you know, 20 states have almost completed the 14-step program we set out to qualify for the money. And she wasn't embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And I think we're not going to compete with anybody at that rate. And as I would just say too, if you're concerned about climate change, speed is a factor today, right? We call it a 10-year crisis. We don't act like it on the Democratic side of the aisle, unfortunately. And you know, we have to build things. We have to build offshore wind. We have to build utility scale solar, hydrogen pipelines, direct air capture. Those permits need to happen fast. We are not, as environmentalists, playing defense anymore like we were in the 70s, trying to stop bad projects. We're trying to make good projects happen. And we need permit reform. So if you could put in a little commercial for that as well with the Democrats, tell the Republicans we need clean energy, tell the Democrats we need permit reform. That would be helpful as well. The cause took a little bit of a setback with this bill because I'm for permit reform for clean energy, and clean energy just took a whacking, right? You won't find many Democrats who came here to make it easier to permit oil and gas and coal, right? So they need to hear both messages. And with that, I think we might get some bipartisan support for making things more sane for you. So again, thanks again. And well, there's plenty of conversations. This is Zion. He runs the whole permit operation in the whole Congress. I don't have a committee. I just have Zion. But be in touch with us if we can be helpful. And again, thanks for coming out and good luck. Thank you.